Jason, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate that. So the answer, tell us about the title and how you came up with it.
Well, the title really is derived. It's kind of weird. Usually, I know what I'm talking about, and the songs come from the title.
Right.
This time, the title came from the songs.
Okay.
So we were, my songwriting partner Dana Saray and I have been spending a lot of time writing, and then some of the songs that I've written on my own were all kind of pointed in the direction of being solution-based, prophetic proclamations, very scripturally based. But all of them kind of pointed towards the whole idea of answering questions and kind of solving problems or presenting solutions, I should say, for some problems. So when we started looking at the whole body of work and looking at what all the songs were talking about, the common thread through all of it was the answer. So that's why we named the record The Answer.
Do you feel like it's your job as a pastor to provide answers to people's problems and under the will of God, if you will?
Absolutely. I think that's part of the role of a shepherd, of a pastor, is to feed the flock, and in that meal, quote unquote, right. Should be some answers to what people are dealing with.
Gotcha.
God has a way of, when you are presenting the word, it's one word, but it hits people in different ways. Right. So God has a way of taking that message and disseminating it to the audience in a way that they require it. So you preach one message, but you speak to the entire audience at the same time.
So with that context, do you take the messages from, your born and raised home, Maryland, when you go around the world? Do you see that kind of being the same as when you talk to your Maryland crowd as when you talk to other crowds across the nation?
Yeah, I think some of the problems are kind of germane to existence, period. Not just one localized, body of believers. Right. But then there are times when, I'm traveling and you go to a certain area and there's a certain kind of environment or a certain kind of principality, some kind of prevailing thought of that area, of that region, that you do have to come back as well. But I think a lot of times what God gives me is more globally based, not necessarily, every country of the world, but I mean global, inclusive of everyone.
Got you. So, and I'm gonna jump out the album for a second because I wanted to hear about what you think about your message. You're a pastor, but you're also a recording artist. Mm-hmm. How do you balance that?
I've learned the art of saying no.
Okay.
I've learned to prioritize my family over everything else. We sometimes you can lose sight of how important family is with regard to your foundation, with regard to bringing peace to your life. Because this industry can be very tumultuous. And if you don't have grounding somewhere, you can get caught up in that and end up going crazy or wanting to quit and all of that. But I've learned how to really find my ground and my security in my family, my wife and my kids. So they play a huge role in me being able to withdraw from the angst attached to being an artist,
right? So
I can be normal at home.
Right. So where did Forever come from?
My wife, actually. It's the reason why you got to be grounded at home. I was in a writing session with Dana, and my wife and Dana's wife walked in. Our families are very close. And they walked in, I think they were shopping or something and spending money, and we were writing the song Stripes, as a matter of fact, from the record. And my wife was like, well, what are you guys doing? Kind of just playing off what we're doing. Guys, you ain't doing nothing, you ain't doing nothing. And she said, well, what about this idea? So we were all of us are like, here we go. Go ahead, Tommy, give us your idea. And she started saying, forever is a long time. That's how long I love you. And we were like, oh, wait a minute. That's good. That's a song. And, so we had a discussion about the direction of the song. Is this us talking to God? Is this God talking to us? And once we figured out that it was God talking to us, the song literally kind of just wrote itself. And probably like 5 to 10 minutes, the whole song was done. And everybody in the house was singing it. And that's how we knew, like, okay, this is going to be a good one. Yeah. Because everybody grabbed it. Everybody was enjoying it. And when we recorded it live, that same environment that we had in our kitchen was translated into the church. And, the rest is history, as they say.
to your point about your wife, kind of starting forever. How important is it to have her support with the things that you do, and what is it like to not have her support, if at all?
I don't know. She's never just been unsupportive. I don't think that's ever happened, except when I was called to be a pastor. She was like, "Yeah, I'm having none of that." Like she wanted no parts at all. And but I knew what the Lord was saying to me, so I prayed. And over the course of about 6 months, her heart started to shift. And you know, and I remember she was like, "Y'all do whatever y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna do whatever you want to do. You do whatever you want to do." Yeah. And one day she said, "You know what we could do at the church?" And I was like, "Did you say we?" And she was like, "Yeah, you know, I think I understand." But other than that, she's been very, very supportive. I mean, when I was a nobody knew who I was, and I'm like, "Babe, I have these songs." And I'm thinking, and you know, especially when you first start writing and you first start recording, you think everything you write is a hit. Oh, this is a hit. You come on, oh, this is a hit. This is a hit. And she was very supportive from the very beginning. And so I don't know what it's like, to be honest, for my wife to not really have my back. She is a great support. She works with me in business. She's one of my employees. You know, so it's like. Yeah. I don't know what it's like. I don't have the testimony that some other people have, where you know there's division and there is insecurity in the household. I don't know anything about that. Right. I've been very blessed in that regard.
Got you. So you did a kind of a classic Jesus Answer, Andre Crouch.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of him. Like, what was that growing up, listening to him, and then kind of doing one of his songs? What was that experience like?
Well, I mean, you can't say you are a lover of gospel music at all without having encountered, the Crouches in some form or another, whether it be Andre or Sandra or the both of them together. I mean, The Blood was written by Andre Crouch, so his music has always been a part of our repertoire, even if we didn't know he was the author or the writer of the song. With a record called The Answer, we knew what the record was called when we were recording live. So we were in the midst of recording Lord of All. Okay. And at the end of that song, it was like worship is happening and people are really engaged. So if you listen on the very beginning of the song, I go, I'm sorry. And then I start singing, Jesus is the answer. You feel later. But it's because I knew that wasn't in the set. Right. But it felt so appropriate in that moment. And it's amazing that this guy wrote this song 30 or 40 years ago, and it's still relevant right now. Today. So, it's just, I'm amazed that songwriting can be timeless like that.
How instrumental is it to be creative and by that being led by God, and then your team sometimes maybe not understanding each decision that you make as a pastor and an artist, and maybe it's all together sometimes?
Okay, this may seem a little bit harsh, but it's true. My team has learned that compliance and understanding don't have to happen at the same time. So just because they don't get it doesn't mean they won't do it. And that's how it is with God. God will often give us instructions that don't necessarily make sense to us, but it's according to his plan for us. Right. So we have to be intelligent enough to not try to get God to filter all of the information to us, and just trust him and make it happen. And I think as the head creator for my team, there are times when I have to kind of just go on the fly. And now they know I can be a little bit weird and a little bit instant, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, well, I feel like we should do this. And I'll just do it. So now they just learn to just jump into it. And there's not really any pushback from anybody. And sometimes we'll have a discussion after the fact and like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, let's try it in this key instead of that key. Right. Or this inversion versus that inversion. Right. But ultimately, I think we've learned this very corporate trust with one another. And there are times when they lead the pack and I follow behind them. So there's some give and take there as well.
I think when Justin asked me to do the interview, I was excited because I'm a fan of vocalists, and you, my friend, are a vocalist.
Thank you.
So tell me about singing. Tell me about the instrument itself and how you see or how you communicate how God uses you with that instrument.
Well, first off, let me say I love to sing. I loved to sing before I understood what good singing was. It was just a part of who I am. I started singing in church probably around 6 years old. Then in high school, I went to a performing arts school for voice, which kind of helped me understand the mechanism, the instrument itself, vocal maintenance, how not to beat my voice up. You know, because gospel singers, the first thing they told me, literally the first thing they said, do you go to church? I said, yeah. So what kind of church do you go to? Like, you go to like one of those Baptist kind of Pentecostal churches? I said, yeah. They said, do you sing in the choir? Yeah. Stop. Don't sing in church. Do not sing gospel music. I'm like, what do you mean? It's what I do. My dad's a pastor. No, you don't sing gospel music. So I sang gospel music, I just didn't tell them.
Right.
You know, but because gospel music does have a tendency to, if you're not careful, to beat your voice up. Because we growl and, we do all that kind of stuff. So I learned the instrument. I understood maintenance of the instrument, things of that nature. And I also learned, once I got a little bit older, that I did possess something that was special, that was unique. But I still didn't get it. I probably didn't get it until I was in my late 20s. Gotcha. Where it was something that people actually wanted to consume on a regular basis. So when I started singing with like Ty Tribbett, with his Time Now, which is I think my first nationally released vocal performance, people still didn't know who it was. Somebody talked to me like a month ago, like, that was you on Time Now? I'm like, yeah. So people are still discovering that I've been doing this for quite a bit, but I love singing. It's cathartic for me. There are, it allows me to express myself in ways that I don't think I would be able to express myself if I couldn't sing, at least to some degree. And then I'm always stretching to find another way to sing a song, like another melody, another harmony. And sometimes it's very subtle and not necessarily like on the nose or overt, but I'm always looking for ways to be creative, even if the song is written. There are 100 different ways that you can sing a song without being offensive to the author, and still maintaining the integrity of what you're singing, but also being experimental at the same time. So,
speaking of singing, we heard that one of your favorite vocalists is Brandy.
Absolutely.
Tell us about what that experience of loving Brandy is to you.
Brandy. She is a phenom. One of the most unique voices I think we've ever heard. Her interpretation of music is bar none at the top of the list. She is like a vocal Bible, in my opinion. The way she can move in and out of chord progressions and her melismas and just tone, just that rasp, and how she reaches certain notes, how she can sing tenor, like easy, but also can hit some, first alto and some second soprano stuff. She's amazing. And when she dropped that Full Moon record, it was like, what is this? Because, it wasn't sitting up in my room. It wasn't that. It was something other. And I'm like, what? How do you describe this? And I remember just sitting, analyzing that music, and recognizing that this girl with Rodney Jerkins and Big Shiz have just basically taken the whole rule book and threw it in the trash can and said, now here's a whole new set of rules, learn these. And I think every artist that's at least a halfway decent singer had to acknowledge, okay, I got to go back to the drawing board. I need to look at, clearly I've been wrong. I've been doing this wrong. And I looked at myself and was like, yeah, you've been wrong about a lot lately as a vocalist. But I think good singing does that. Kim Burrell did the same thing. The first time I heard her, I'm like, yo, you can't do that. You're not supposed to sing that there. And now the whole world has been shifted on its ear because people like Kim Burrell and Brandy exist and have shown us that there's something else out there that you can do vocally that is amazing and still in the key. You know what I mean? And still within the context of the chord progressions and things of that nature.
Can you give us a little taste?
I knew you were going to do that.
You knew that.
So Prince Charming, my angel, my king and my friend, my love, my one, he is the beat in my heart, the kiss on my lips, my love and my one, he is.